I know I've been aiming to do my little supplement videos on Wednesdays, but today is Friday. Close enough, right? Excuse the noise in the background. My 4-year-old is playing with his Legos, so we're gonna just keep everybody happy and continue on. This week, I want to talk about omega-3 fatty acids. You maybe just commonly heard them be referred to as fish oils, but technically fish oils are omega-3 fatty acids. And these came to be discovered years ago. Scientists were studying native populations in the North, like Arctic region. Their diets are really high in fish, a ton of fat. They would eat seals, but they have really low population rates of heart disease. So that kind of triggered scientists to look deeper into fats, realizing that fats are not all equal. There might be some beneficial fat. So that's how omegas came to be discovered. Within the category of fats, we can break it down farther. Of course, we've got saturated fats. Those are the not heart healthy kind. And we've got unsaturated fats. Those are the heart healthy kind. And you'll see that on a nutrition label. If it says total fats, it'll often break it down. Next, it'll say how many grams of saturated fats are there, and then how many grams of unsaturated fats. Now, within that unsaturated fats category, we can break it down further into monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Now, in nutrition world, we just abbreviate those, and we call those MUFAs and PUFAs. Yes, we call them PUFAs. And omega-3 fatty acids are a type of PUFA. I only bring that up because on a nutrition fact label, you're not going to see it actually listed as omega-3 fatty acids, 2 grams or whatever. It's not on there. But if you're reading a label and it says, total fat X grams, saturated fat, I don't know, one gram, and then it has a ton of monounsaturated fats or polyunsaturated fats, that would be a heart healthy choice. So if there's more unsaturated fats than saturated fats, you're on the track to making a good choice. Anyways, omega-3s fall into that polyunsaturated PUFA category. Why are omega-3s considered good though? I made a list here, so I'm going to try to read off of this. If I had to summarize omega-3's function, I would say cardiovascular. So they're considered heart healthy, right? They work to lower your cholesterol in your body. They work to reduce plaque, which is kind of a combination of cholesterol and calcium and just gunk in your arteries. And not to be gross, but fat, if you poured fat down your kitchen drain, let's say you cook some really fatty ground beef and you just poured that grease down the drain, it's going to stick to the pipes. And do that enough times, your pipes are going to get clogged up. So literally the same concept holds true for our internal system and our arteries, our blood vessels. They can get clogged up. So omega-3s kind of help minimize that. But what else? They reduce inflammation. That's a lot of research is promising in this area. So there are a lot of inflammatory diseases like arthritises. What's the plural of arthritis? Anyways, these omega-3 fatty acids can help reduce signs of inflammation in the body. So maybe in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 years, we'll know more, of course. Within the omega-3 fatty acid family, there are 3 main types. And to be honest, as a dietitian, we never talk about the full names because they're really, really long and complicated, and I don't really know how to pronounce them. The first one I can, though. It's alpha-linolenic acid. So that's called ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. Now I got to bring up my paper for the next one. EPA, the full name of that is eicosapentaenoic acid. See, EPA is a lot easier to say. Next one, DHA. That's docosahexaenoic acid. That's going to be the first and last time I call it by its full name. DHA. is what we call it. So we've got ALA, EPA, and DHA. Those are all important. They're called essential because we can't make them in our own bodies. We have to get them from our food. I should note that actual deficiencies of these things are not common in the US. So it's not like you should be walking around thinking, man, I might have an ALA deficiency. It's not common. Now, they are essential, so they're important, but we do get them in a lot of foods, especially ALAs, because ALAs are found in plants. So a main source of ALA would be soybean oil or canola oil. And you might be thinking, yeah, I never eat soybean oil. Well, no, of course not. You probably don't eat soybean oil or use it in your cooking, but a lot of the foods you eat, especially foods that are already made, probably have soybean oil in them or canola oil. Salad dressings, for example, you usually use canola oil there, or in mayonnaise. Oftentimes they're made with canola oil. So plants are a good source of ALA. Specifically, like chia seeds have a ton of ALA in them. Hemp hearts, which I've just started cooking with, or I should say baking with. I make all my pumpkin muffins with hemp hearts now. And gosh, what else? Nuts, flax seeds, ground flaxseed oil are a good source of them. I mentioned mayo is a good source, canola oil. I should mention here that olive oil, it's still good. This is a topic for another day. Olive oil doesn't have PUFAs. It's got MUFAs. Those other kind of good unsaturated fatty acids. But for the point of omegas, we're not going to go into olive oil. So anyways, ALAs are found in plants. Now, there are recommendations when it comes to how much we should get, but it's tricky because there is no recommended intake for EPA and DHA. It's just ALA. So for that, it's recommended that men get 1.6 grams of ALA per day and women get 1.1 grams of ALA. So just for reference though, I looked this up. Where did I write it down? Our chia seeds, 2 tablespoons have like 2.5 grams. Now, you're not going to eat 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, but you get the gist of like it all adds up as your day goes on that you're probably going to get enough ALA. Now, sorry for the shaking. I'm just getting so excited about this stuff. Your body can convert small amounts of ALA to EPA and DHA. EPA and DHA, those are what I call the true fish oils. Those are what you find in fish. They're really not going to be found in many other foods. To be specific, it's not even that like it's inherently in the fish, but it's synthesized by microalgae. So the microalgae is eaten by phytoplankton, and then the little tiny fishies eat the phytoplankton, which have eaten the microalgae, and then the bigger fish eat the little fish, and so this kind of all accumulates into the fish that we eat. And salmon, I wrote this down somewhere. Salmon. I mean, you've heard that salmon is a fatty fish. So salmon is going to be your best source of EPA and DHA. Fun fact, it doesn't matter nutritionally, really, if it's wild caught salmon or if it's farm raised, because there's a price difference. And if you feel like, oh gosh, I should only be buying the wild, but it's not in my budget. No, buy the farm raised stuff. That's fine. But one thing that bums me out is tilapia is by far my favorite fish. I always just like a really mild white fish. Tilapia has 0.11 grams of EPA and DHA, so really not very much. Same with tuna. Tuna's so good for you. I mean, it really is. Talk about good protein, and it's cheap and it's easy, and who just doesn't love a good tuna salad? That only has about 0.2 grams per 3 ounces. So not huge sources there. Now, so there's no recommended intake for EPA and DHA. Just, we don't know how much you should get. But there has been established an upper limit. So it's recommended that you don't take in more than 3 grams combined EPA and DHA per day. So in the salmon, if you were to eat a 3-ounce portion, which is like a deck of cards, I don't know, usually if I'm going to eat salmon, I eat more than 3 ounces because I really like it. But 3 ounces would have 1.75 grams. So short of the 3-gram limit, I guess. Where else do I want to go? I'm getting excited about salmon here. And honestly, I wish that I had salmon to cook for dinner tonight. So yeah, your fatty fish. Oh, I know where I was going with this. So the American Heart Association recommends that Americans get 2 servings per week of fatty fish. Like I've talked about in earlier videos, we do tend to think in terms of like 24-hour cycles. Like, I need this many nutrients per day. But again, it's not like our body resets every 24 hours. So thus if you don't get in like your ALA or your EP or your DHA every stinking day, that's okay. You know, the recommendations aren't that you eat a little bit of fish every day, but no, 2 servings a week. Do I hit that? No. I wish it was in our budget to eat salmon 2 times a week. I would love that. My kids would not, but I'd be all for it. So that's kind of where people end up buying the supplements, right? Because while it is always going to be best to try to get all your nutrition from your food, that doesn't always happen. And supplements can be good to plug in the holes or fill in the gaps, I guess. A few things to look for when you're buying supplements. Make sure that the majority of the omega-3s are EPA and DHA, because chances are good you're getting enough ALAs and you don't want to spend money to get more of something that you don't really need, right? Spend the money to get the actual fish oil. Now, most supplements truly do have mostly just the EPA and DHA in them. A downside to taking fish oil supplements, they can be kind of big, and for whatever reason, they tend to make you burpy. I don't know why this is the case, but I would have so many patients complain that they make them just burpy, and when you burp, it's kind of that blah, fishy taste. So that's not pleasant. I don't know why this trick works, but freezing them helps. So stick them in the freezer, swallow them down icy cold, and that can help reduce the irpiness. There are time release capsules that you can buy. Those have been linked with increased diarrhea. So you could do that and take your chances, but to me, a gelatin one in the freezer would do the trick just fine. Also, most supplements that you buy are not going to have more than the 3-gram kind of upper limit, but just make sure. Again, if you want to go more than that, you could. I mean, it's your choice. Is it going to benefit you? Probably not. I guess research just hasn't shown that to be the case. And also talk to your doctor too, because fish oils can act as a blood thinner. So if you're on a blood thinning medication like warfarin, Coumadin, it can make your blood too thin, and you don't want to do that. So talk with your doctor, of course, if you have any underlying health conditions. So yeah, I would say if you're, hi Fred. If you are a healthy person and you get a balanced diet and you enjoy eating salmon on occasion, you probably don't need a fish oil supplement. If you have a history of heart disease or cardiovascular disease in your family, talk to your doctor. It might not be a bad idea to just add a fish oil or omega-3 supplement. And I'm always budget conscious. Drugstores oftentimes have these things on sale. You know, like buy one, get one 50% off, sometimes buy one, get one free. So by all means, get them on sale. You know, don't pay full price for this business. I'm always going to recommend getting it from food sources though, because it's just more efficient. You know, these omega-3s are found in high nutrient foods. So hemp hearts also have fiber and protein. Chia seeds also have fiber and protein. Salmon has the fats along with a ton of protein. And, you know, if you enjoy those things, great. But if not, you might want to consider a supplement. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will be sure to respond.